we have been wasting our money on stuff. Junk. Crap. Things. Pretty much all of our lives. Well, for me, at least close to the last 50 years. About 6 years back, it began to get to us, and since we retired about 12 years ago, we finally realized that now that we had a lot of time and fewer excuses, that maybe, just maybe, we could live better lives with fewer things. Yeah, less crap in our lives. Let's talk about that. Shelley and my story are pretty similar. In our younger lives, at least for me, when I had decided to start a family, settle down just after getting my dream job as a firefighter in Arizona, had a baby, then another, I decided that we needed to really get some things. A piece of the American dream. We bought furniture, bought a car. We rented a house, then later bought one of our own. Of course, it was bigger than the rental, so we needed more stuff. Furniture, lawn things, tools to work on the car, and for sure, another car. After our second son, we obviously needed more stuff, and then needed to build a bigger home. We just kept, for lack of a better term, living the American dream. Just moving on down the road. Things happened and our lives fell apart. Then about 12 years later, I got remarried. Shelley and I started off in a smaller home, of course with furniture for each and every room. The boys were spending a lot of time with us and we wanted to get a bigger home. So we built a 4,000 square foot massive and beautiful home. And you got it. Lots of new furniture for every room. A custom yard, a pool, and a hot tub. A gas fire pit, pergola and barbecue. And with both of us working, we hired folks to give us some relief doing our yard. More stuff. Shelley had a side job making soap, and I had one packing parachutes. And at the same time, we bought a complete machine shop setup for our 3-car garage. It wasn't long before we had to get a storage room to house some of all that wonderful stuff we had acquired. I'm sure that you guys know or at least have heard of George Carlin. Well, he did an amazing shtick on this years ago. 1987, I think. If you haven't seen it, it would be worth your while to look it up on YouTube.
Just trying to find a place for my stuff. You know how important that is. That's the whole meaning of life, isn't it? Trying to find a place for your stuff.
We'll put a link to it in the More section below this video. Yeah, this is the American dream, or way of life. We are conditioned to just collect stuff. You may have heard or seen the sticker, "He who dies with the most toys wins." My dad and mom, not so much. I'm not quite sure where I inherited that gene, or maybe that wasn't it. Maybe it was all those years of TV and targeted commercials to get us to just buy. I don't know.
Remember, every
lovely complexion. Discover sheer seems taste-based. Ordinary.
When Shelley and I were younger, first married, we had several cars, and every couple of years we'd trade one or the other in and get the latest and greatest one on our minds at the time. Everything from so many different trucks to a slew of sports cars and a muscle car, we seemed to be in a point in our lives where we seemed to just get tired of those vehicles really early. We were trading in cars fairly regularly, sometimes losing money, others breaking even. We were hunting for something that we couldn't put our fingers on. It's kind of like keeping up with the Joneses. We just have to have the latest and greatest and newest. We kind of lived that way for year upon year. What's odd is that it really wasn't until we decided that we'd give up our home and move into an RV to be able to go to the places and see and experience the things we had missed in that rat race the shows all call life. Things did begin to change, slowly. But of course, we needed to buy more stuff to outfit the RV because you know that all your other stuff just won't work. There is something about a tiny space, a tiny home, an RV, your small space. You'll find several phrases being passed around like minimalism and a better term, essentialism. You come to the realization that pretty much you just don't need all that stuff. Oh, we're still making mistakes, like we're still finding it difficult to part with some of that stuff, and the storage company we're using is making a killing off of us. We're working on it. Honest. We're trying. Think about it. Minimalism pretty much means that you're just living with the absolute bare minimum.
Look for the bare necessities.
If we were minimalists, we would probably just have a small converted van. RVers call them van lifers. You know, living in a van down by the river.
And I live in a van down by the river.
Just enough to get by. No TV, no YouTube, computers, or anything else. Just the minimum. We don't live like that. We are traveling the country in a 42-foot, beautiful and fully equipped fifth-wheel RV, pulled by our big, beautiful and powerful F450 truck, with all the creature comforts of a larger home, and then some. Just less stuff. We're not so far into this that we're getting rid of everything. I mean, there are family treasures. That's treasures to us. And things associated with powerful memories that we will always keep. We did decide that we wanted to get rid of the things that were just sitting there taking up space and giving back nothing to us. Essentialism. That first summer was a very tough time. It was devastating. Shelley lost her mom and grandmom as soon as we moved into our first RV, and we spent that summer suffering through 120-degree ambient temperatures. That's not a way to start a dream, is it? We had just sold, given away, or donated the majority of items we had spent eons acquiring. We kept coming across things we hadn't thought of in years, yet there they were, tucked away and forgotten. Just the trinkets, the things we bought to remember a time or place or event that eventually just slipped from our minds. So very many. They are now replaced with the things that have meaning to us, like pictures of our kids and our grandkids and other parts of the family, and videos of our amazing travels. Our RV is our time machine. We just wanted to have our home filled with memories. So many things went to the dump. A lot of broken items, things to Goodwill, garage sales, or even just given away. Next was to tackle our tiny home, our RV. Every time we come back to Arizona for the winter, we cull through the rig to lighten and hold on to only those things with a powerful memory. But inevitably, we would have every nook and cranny filled. Sadly, most of it again was things that we hardly ever used. Stuff. So we started culling through things again, taking things to the dump or finding a place in our already overstuffed storage room. We are now getting rid of clothing that we will never wear. You can't believe all the stuff that we got rid of again. We have just kept culling down and down and down till finally the rig actually looks like a home again and not a hoarder's loft. We have space left over. Our closets aren't full. You can sit on the furniture. Everything that we need is sitting in this rig. We don't keep extras of things we don't and probably never will use. Our new rule is that if we didn't need it last season, then chances are we probably won't need it this season. Yes, we keep some extras on hand, things that are too hard to come by, things that could help us in an emergency, parts and type-specific tools for the RV, things that break and are prone to going bad while we're on the road. But for the most part, we've really thinned things out. Sure, we could do more, but for right now, we're right on the edge of our comfort zone. We would challenge you to see just what you're hanging on to, that you don't need. Let's take it a step further. What are you hanging on to that you don't even like? What? Can you find a way to consolidate your life, live within the essentials, and hopefully give you more room and opportunities to get out and do and see the things you've always wanted to? There's a family of YouTubers in our niche who we just love to watch, and they may have said it best: less junk, more journey. So do us a favor, leave a comment letting us know if you think we've lost our minds, or if we might have struck a chord that may help you down the road as well. We would love to hear from you, and we will be back in the not too distant future to let you see where we're at and find out where your journey has taken you. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, a like, and if you'd like to see more videos about RVs and RVing, then subscribe. If we don't see you out on the road, maybe we'll see you in the next video. So please, travel safe.